just gonna take a second to appreciate this jam. Hey everyone, welcome back to Saturday Morning Toy Tunes. As always, it is the somewhat weekly live stream here on my channel in which all of us gather around the modern day campfires that are made up of our computer screens and our phone screens and just talk about all things geeky that happened in the week. And today, this week, there was a lot of crazy stuff that went down. Just because I'm paranoid, I'm just gonna check my audio. Yes, I have audio. That's always a good way to start. I've got coffee. I have notes. Because there, like I said, there was a lot of stuff going on. To start off with, Clone Wars featured an amazing cameo that we're going to talk about, obviously. There was an amazing episode of The Bad Batch. It seems like everything is finally coming to a head. So we're going to get an awesome penultimate episode, and obviously something really killer to round it out. God, what else to talk about? Just so much. My notes are really just all over the place. It's just crazy. There were some that were scrawled while drinking wine, so they don't make any sense, so I probably won't even talk about them. I'm also going to mention somebody actually asked if I could list like what I consider to be 10 perfect records, so I may actually bring that up depending. Oh, Clone Wars or Mandalorian? I meant Mandalorian. Thank you very much. The reason I screwed up, Steve, I'm just going to bring that up on the screen right now so everybody understands exactly what prompted that. Do I have live chat? I don't think I have live chat. Oh no, there it is. Okay, good. Awesome. So the reason I brought up Clone Wars is because I am still in the middle of a binge rewatch of all of the episodes of Clone Wars in chronological order. I am just about to wrap up, I think, season 4. So I'm getting closer and closer to the end. Everything is getting really, really solid. Just wrapped up the Umbara saga, and I'm in the middle of the Slaver. I think it was a 2-episode arc for the slaves, but it might have been 3. This is around the time that Clone Wars actually started doing that kind of thing, having multi-episode arcs. Episodal? Is episodic? I don't know. Everything's starting to be, all the words are becoming sounds. Hey, Piper. Hang on. Where you at? Where'd you go? There you are. Oh, puppy participation! Yes, who gets a participation trophy? Piper gets a participation trophy. Sorry to interrupt the flow, everybody, but all life stops for Piper. Yeah. So, here she is. Say hi. I don't know if everybody can see or not, but Piper actually does have... She's part of the Bad Batch. She has Hunter's bandana for a collar. So, yeah. Even my dog is a Star Wars fan. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. All right, so before we move forward with all the goodness, one more thing I want to mention is going to happen later on today. I want you to be thinking about things because I have not one, but 2 6-scale figures that have just been added to my collection. A little bit late in the day. I know that everybody else has already unboxed these and shown them off, but I'm going to open at least one of these and pose definitely one of them. And you guys get to pick. So, when the time comes, I'm going to ask for people to vote, to cast their votes. Don't start it now. We'll just do it later when the time comes to pose. And you guys can choose which one of those figures I'm going to pose up live here on the channel. Also, audio check. I turned the volume up a little bit. It seemed like it was a little bit low last time, so I cranked it up a little bit. But if you think the music is interfering too much with my narration, then please let me know, because I'll happily turn it down if that's the case. Or if you'd much rather have the music drowning out my voice, also let me know that, and I'll make adjustments as necessary. Anyway, so let's move forward and see who is joining us here today. I want to say hi to everybody. Steve Nara, once again, man. I don't know how this guy does it. It seems to always be somebody named Steve who is first in the chats, and that trend continues today. Congratulations, Steve. You've once more won the No Prize. The coveted... Why is this happening? Okay. The coveted Saturday Morning Toy Tunes No Prize, modeled after the traditional Marvel No Prize that people got for writing in and doing something really awesome in the chats. I'm going to, something is going on with my pop-out chats, so I'm going to close that out really quick and then bring it back up again. There we go. And hopefully that will have saved the day. Apologies for the technical details. Apologies for the technical difficulties, everybody. Wow, the chats are very active today. We have Kumar in the house once again. Man, I don't know what's going on, but it's popping up. I'm getting a drop-down menu every time I click on somebody's chat, so it's difficult for me to read the comments, so I'm just gonna have to read it off my screen. Nice try, Kumar. I understand. Keith Lee, always early in the chats, although today not necessarily first in the chats. Man, Chats are glitching. Chats are glitching. I don't know why, but they are. Something's up. I think I need to redo something here. So bear with me. Live chat. Pop out chat. Yeah, I think what happened was when I brought the chats back in, I needed to get a fresh overlay, so I'm going to go ahead and implement that really quick in here. So just calm, everybody remain calm and enjoy the track that is playing right now. It's awesome. It is, I had to download some new stuff because I accidentally deleted all of my music from my hard drive. And I think that should do it. Let's see. Oh, OBS. Bring up Rob Parisho. Yes, Rob is here. It's still doing that crazy drop-down menu thing. I don't know why, so I'll figure that out some other time. Or maybe it is a glitch and they'll figure it out later. Figurassic Park is here. Hello, Ahmed. More posing, less talking, Terry. Okay. Your joke is very much appreciated. Gina B Collecting is here from Canada. Good morning. Excited for the stream. Going to see John Wick 4. That is a very good decision on your part. Because John Wick 4 is very clearly the best of the franchise. There, I said it. There, I said it. And I think everybody will agree. I know that the reviewers agree. So much coffee, perhaps too much coffee. Yeah, all the Wick films are definitely bloody. I'm keeping well. I'm keeping well, Dob Bear. I'm Dob Bear, of course, from sunny Scotland. Still planning to go, dude. That is pretty loud. I'm going to turn that down. Still planning to go to Scotland sometime in the fall with my sister. We are going to be based in Edinburgh when we go. So anybody from Scotland who happens to be close by, let me know. I'd be happy to do a connection with somebody. Try that. Sorry, just trying something new here. Man, that is really loud. Okay. Glitchy day, everybody. Glitchy day. Hope everybody else is having a non-glitchy day. Pierre P is here from Florida. Hello, Pierre. How's it going? The issue with this thing is that I can't actually read the comments before I highlight them, so I have no idea what I'm highlighting. Like this drop-down window, I wish I could screen cap it and show it to you guys, but this drop-down window is legitimately creating an issue in that I can't read whatever comment that I'm about to highlight. So you guys could be posting something that would be positively offensive and I wouldn't even know it. So yeah, that's very frustrating. Bad Wolf Media is here. Yes. Brandy Woods is here. Hello, Brandy Woods. Hey, Brandy Woods. Sorry, I got my line wrong. It does sometimes take place. Tommy K is here. Hey, Tommy. Great job with that trivia on Paul's live stream, on Paul's Onion Lee's live stream. If you guys missed Paul's live stream last week, there was some great Star Wars trivia that was going on. I didn't do so well. I got, I think, 10th place. I'm blaming my trackpad. Yes, that's right. I operate on a trackpad. Didn't realize there was going to be a problem. I wasn't even considering trivia. Chris Cause is here this morning. Yes. Always glad to see Chris Cause here. Wow, this is really a problem with this chat, guys. It's legitimately... I can't even scroll because this is happening. Yeah, I can't even scroll my comments. I'm not even going to be able to read the chats. So maybe I should do away with the pop-out chat. I don't think that I can, though. Huh. Very freaking annoying. Very freaking annoying. Bear with me while I try something here. Man. This is really going to create an issue. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So what I have to do is I have to click on something else besides the pop-out chat window, and then that drop-down menu disappears. And then I can scroll, but as soon as I click on something else again, yeah, it becomes an issue. Rob Parisho says audio is good on his end. Yeah, okay, good. Figurassic Park breaking out with something that all of us have issues with on occasion. Yeah. I understand that. He says that he's afraid to watch The Bad Batch because he doesn't want to love it and get those figures. And I'm afraid that would happen, my friend. They are legitimately some of the best figures that Hot Toys has done, armored, clone related or otherwise. It's really, really solid. I love the interpretations that they've done for the characters' portraits. The way that they've married the animated, stylized artwork of the show with the live action portrait of Tamora Morrison on each one of those characters is just first rate. I mean, seriously, I think it's some of the most beautiful artistic interpretations that we've seen happen in 6 scale. Other figure companies have attempted this in the past to varying degrees of success. Sideshow did a pretty awesome job of it years ago with their Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker. But again, Hot Toys stepped up to the plate and brought something really extra in that good way. Not that bad extra. Looking at you, ex-wife. Anyway. That is a great reference. Oh, jeez. Okay. Nothing can be easy? Yeah. Agreed, Steve. Yeah, nothing can be easy. Oh, wow. One thing I can rely on with the chats is that it will auto-scroll as soon as it gets down too far. So if I'm unable to scroll myself, then I can rely on auto chat to do that for me. I wonder if it's something to do with my trackpad. Like maybe my trackpad is running low on batteries. And it's doing something weird like automatically double clicking. Because what I'm seeing here is something that would happen if I use 2 fingers on the trackpad. So let's try again. Harold is here. Commander Green is here. Hey Harold, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. As always, I'm just going to give a shout out to Harold's Instagram account. That's Commander Green, just as you see it there on the comments there. Because his stuff is really awesome. I love watching his photography evolve, and he's getting better every day. Oh, you know what? I think OBS, at the very least, YouTube has the ability to post a poll. And if I would have thought about that beforehand, Keith, then maybe that's something that I would have done. Sadly, I didn't consider that before moving forward with this. So, yeah. Hope I'm not missing anybody here because I am a little bit flustered with this whole thing. Bad Wolf Media. So hopefully, I think I posted one of your comments. Laura Quiles is here. Hello, Laura. John Galgano is here. That's good. We're going to be talking about Star Wars. It's going to be good to have you aboard. Lane Kramer is here, busting out with questions as always. Questions and comments. I know Terry saw the John Wick 4 tees from Hot Toys and was like, man, how many gun poses can I possibly do with those guys? You know, if it's anything like the original John Wick, I have a pretty good idea. And that's a marvelous figure. The amount of things, the degree of the range of motion on those things was first rate. Those things on that figure was first rate. I don't have it in my collection any longer. I don't know. I can't remember why I parted ways with it. I think I traded it for something that I wanted more. Again, at some point, you just have to stick to your guns. Know what you're going to be collecting and stick to that. Dob Bear says it would be awesome to catch up in person. I couldn't agree more. We'll see if we can make that work somewhere down the line. I believe we're Facebook chums, right? Yeah, I think so. There you go, all being all lawful evil, and as Brandy Woods knows, being lawful evil is something I can definitely appreciate. It's true. When I do those alignment poses, when I do those alignment polls online, I invariably come up lawful evil. That's not something I would have expected of myself. True neutral, sure, I can probably believe that, but lawful evil is not what I expected. Ahmed's building a new house. That's exciting. Congratulations. Bad Wolf Media always calling me out on my shit. Okay, thank you. All right, it isn't me. I think it's a combination of me just being a little bit on the old side with I'm just not very fast with it. I'm just not. I know that I'm much faster with a mouse, so maybe I will try it again with a mouse. Then I'd have to pay for a mouse. Look who's here, everybody. Paul Sun Yun Lee, Bitter Asian Dude Incorporated, saying what's up to Brandy Woods. You know, from that much beloved commercial from back in the 90s. What's up? You might think that that's a commercial reference, but it's actually an Ant-Man reference. For those of you who don't follow Marvel, then you're missing out in multiple ways. Okay, God, scrolling back up here. Everybody's saying hi to Paul as they should. It's always good to have you in the chats, buddy. Honored to have you here, man. I'm pretty sure that everybody here also follows Paul's channel, but if you're not, you should be. It's one of the funnest channels on YouTube for collectors, I swear to God. And he's even stepped outside of the boundaries of YouTube and is starting to do live streams on Instagram. I see them pop up recently in my feed, and I'm like, I never catch them in time, Paul. I never get the notifications until it's over. I guess it's because I don't visit Instagram very often. I don't know. Are you doing it on Facebook? I'm losing track of everything. I'm just trying to juggle so much right now. Yeah, not to get too personal, but, you know, I'm not going to get too personal. I got a lot going on. Brandy Woods can tell you if she wants to. But anyway, moving right along. Ooh, turn the music back up now that I'm less flustered. TK421 is asking, did the stream start earlier today? Yes and no. It started earlier than it did last week because last week I was running late. It started on time today. Typically 9 a.m. my time is when we do the live stream. If it's any time after 9 a.m., it's usually also because I'm running late. But I try to start it at 9 a.m. my time. It just seems to fit with the whole Saturday morning cartoons motif, at least stateside. Sorry for all those of you. I don't even know if Saturday morning cartoons was a thing abroad. Did Canada have Saturday morning cartoons? Did Europe? Did Asia? Probably not Asia, but probably not Europe either, now that I think about it. Laura Keeley says, yeah, Bitter Asian, I was amazed that your first hot toy was Hot Leia. That was my first too. I did not know that, Paul. I did not know that, but if you were gonna break ground in Hot Toys 6-scale stuff, Hoth Leia would have been a great one to do it with. If you don't have that in your collection, you're missing out. I speak from experience. Oh, did you make an appearance on somebody's channel last night? I was unaware. Who's JP? Is that JP Mavinga? My friend JP Mavinga? That would be awesome if so. I would love to have those two connect. JP Mavinga, by the way, is one of the finest artists that I have the honor of knowing personally. He's my brother. He's my friend. Go check him out. I want to say that his website is mavinga.com. Super talented artist. I keep saying that he's going to be the first live guest that I have on this channel as soon as I make the commitment to actually figure out how to make that happen on OBS. Or maybe I'll just jump to StreamYard. Who knows? Who knows? That costs money. But you guys have been really great in the super chats. It might be that the channel can afford it. And you know what? I'm just gonna, not to overshare, but I haven't washed this hair in 5 days, maybe 6. I don't know. It's been a long time, but I have discovered the magical potion that is dry shampoo. So that might explain why the hair is so fluffy. I'm sure that that's gonna fade throughout the course of the stream. I will go from fluffy Terry to just matted Terry. Fluffy Terry, matted Terry. You guys can pick which one of those you prefer. Oh, is that where you went? That guy. Okay. Catching up. That's true. That's true. I'm a little bit of both. Speaking of vintage, there's still some wine sitting here from last night. Anyway. Okay, that's good to know. I would think that would just be a full-on Western thing, Western tradition, especially given how successful they were in the States. It would shock me if other nations, if networks in other countries didn't recognize and choose to capitalize on that. Just want to make sure that I've got everybody here before I move on. Brandy Woods. Didn't mean to snub you, but yes, first live streamed remote guest. Yeah. Okay, that's something I hadn't heard, Connor, that Luke Skywalker is apparently in the next episode of The Mandalorian. I'm not sure what your sources are on that. It'd be interesting to have a citation along with your work. Yeah, maybe. You know what would be really interesting is if Captain Carson Teva was in the next episode of Mandalorian. We are at the halfway point, right? We're like halfway through the season now. So everything's set up, everything's established, I would think. So yeah. Oh, look at Bitter Asian Dude busting out with the 22 Canadian dollar super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you, man. Very much appreciate that. Huh. God, yeah, don't do that. Let's not do that anymore. Super chats are not a competition, everybody. If so, I think Paul already threw down the gauntlet. Super chats, by the way, do not go into my pocket. They are strictly for making sure we continue to have music for Saturday Morning Toy Tunes, because you can't have Saturday Morning Toy Tunes without the tunes. They're also going to go eventually to pay for maybe something like an upgrade to StreamYard where I can do more. Also, giveaways. Yes, giveaways. So let's move on. The first thing I wanted to talk about was that cameo in The Mandalorian. Did everybody see it? If not, skip over to. It actually starts from, in my mind, the actual cameo begins at timestamp 11:38, which is just amazing. I can't bring myself to believe that that was a coincidence, because when you cut to it, 11:38 is Grogu, baby Grogu, during the Jedi Purge, on the elevator, moving up to the landing platform, or a hallway close to the landing platform, we'll say. And the doors part, and a Jedi is waiting for him, and that Jedi is played by none other than Ahmed Best. That's right. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. That's right. Jar Jar Binks is the Jedi that rescues Grogu. That saves Grogu from the Jedi Temple. Dudes, I don't know how to say it, man, but I posted something on my Facebook page. It was essentially a link to a clip from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where, what's his name? Oh, God. Again, I'm going to blank on the character's name. I'm also going to blank on the actor's name, but it's James Gunn's brother who plays him. And he's reacting to the Ravager funeral that Yondu wound up getting unexpectedly. And just that heartfelt, yeah, you know, that joy that he had at that redemption. That's exactly how that felt to me. So I just use that as like a metaphor for the joy. And legitimately, I screamed like that. And I watched it at 2 or 3 in the morning. So if my neighbor's bedroom window is directly across from my living room window, and I'm sure that just woke her right the hell up. If you're watching, neighbor, I'm so sorry. I don't even know my neighbor's name at this point. Anyway. But what did you guys think of that, man? Seriously. Oh, and by the way, Paul, I thank you for making that joke for me. I wanted to make that joke, but I didn't want to sound ungrateful. So thanks for coming in with the quick save, buddy, on that. Wow, we're having many retracted comments. That's interesting. Wonder why. Anyway, I'm always missing out on stuff. Steve131 is here. Welcome, Steve. And Brandy Woods also made the joke. Okay, thanks, you two. Leave it to the Canadians to call each other out on their shit. Lane Kramer, this is interesting. So I finally re-unboxed my Bo-Katan. I do not love the figure due to the body. I'm fine with it. But after not like trying to pose her, I decided to put Django's poncho on her. Wow, you mentioned that last week. And again, I'll say the same thing I said before. And hide all that gorgeous stitching. No way, man. No way. I actually finally hit a pose with mine. I'm going to go get it. I wasn't going to. I'm going to try not to trip over all these boxes that I have sitting next to me. Just going to show off my t-shirt really quick. Yes, that's right. Oh, wait. Wrong side. Yeah. I am, in fact, a massive, massive fan of Ted Lasso. I think I may have watched Ted Lasso in its entirety, the first 2 seasons, more times than I've watched the Clone Wars in its entirety. In my defense, and in the defense of Clone Wars, there are far fewer episodes. But anyway, here's my Bo-Katan pose. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the screen here, if I can. Yeah, I can. Good. So this is what I went with. A little bit of motion, a little bit of attitude, a little bit of a swagger. Watch those, look at those hips. Got the swag going on. And she is just, and I'm just gonna move closer here so the camera can capture some of that glorious detail. But man, what a great, great figure through and through. And again, it's like readdressing Lane Kramer's comments regarding the 90-degree bend in the elbow. They've been talked to death. But again, it's like with any figure, every 6-scale figure is going to have limitations. necessitated by the original character design more often than not, but sometimes, like in the case of Bo-Katan, they're just trying to make it so that you don't bend it too far and thereby rip the seams out on all that stitching. I can't imagine that having so many stitches in that fabric, in that thin fabric, would do anything more than cause it to be a little bit more frail. So I really do think that they were working in our best interests. You have the option of either having a 90-degree bend in the elbows or having a full 150 degrees, 140 degree bend that might actually wind up tearing the fabric. And I'm quite frankly glad that they went with the option that they did, because there's still a lot that you can do with the 90-degree bend in the elbows. I don't get bent out of shape about stuff like that. It's a waste of energy. That's how I approach it. Just a waste of energy. Anyway, Steve Nara is in agreement that it is definitely the best cameo so far. I see what you did there. Yeah. Nice work. Nice work. I'm very proud of you. Keller and Beck. Yes, that's right. I had the name actually written down, but thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's a great name. The Sabered Hand himself, Dean of the Jedi Academy. Is that right? So he has a history? Kelleran's actually a character from before? This isn't introduced just for the show? That's exciting to me. That's exciting to me. Da Bear, yes, by the way, that is Sean Gunn, who I was thinking of. But if you're on my Facebook page, a few posts down, you'll find a link to my reaction in the form of Sean Gunn's reaction to the Ravager funeral. Everybody in agreement here. We got Laura Keeles. Ahmed Best on the Mandalorian was just so good and so welcome. It's so welcome. I legitimately felt badly for that guy for everything the toxic fans put him through after his appearance in 1999 in The Phantom Menace. So undeserved. I'm on record. If you were able to talk to any of my friends from that time period, they would vouch for you that I'm legitimately the guy who liked Jar Jar Binks. Definitely very much appreciate him. By the way, I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway right now on this channel. And this is what we're going to do. This is what we're giving away. It's not much, so don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. But I legitimately went out and got this specifically for this, in honor of this. But we are giving away a Hasbro Black Series Jar Jar Binks figure, Black Series figure, 6-inch Black Series figure. So today on the live stream, somebody is going to win this figure. And I'm trying to, the back of my brain is thinking about ways. I think I know how I want to do this. Man, it's almost too easy though. It would have to be like, in my mind it's too easy, but if you're not familiar with the source material, then it may not be easy. But I don't know. Give me 5 minutes to think about it, and then I'll just drop the question. But it's going to be a trivia thing, and the first person in my stream that answers this trivia question correctly will be the one who wins the figure. Now, keep in mind that because of the way that chats work, it may look like you were the first person to pick that, but and just for the sake of clarity and for my own sanity and to protect my rep, I will screen cap the my chat with the winner, whoever actually answers the question correctly. I hope I'm making sense. Tommy K got misty-eyed. Yeah, well, that's because you're a real man, baby. That was amazing, wasn't it? Seriously. And I don't want to dwell on this too freaking long before I move on to something else, but yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Seriously, he owned this. He owned this. I mean, I can't speak for the man's emotions, but whether it was just professionalism or whether he was just so goddamn elated to be in this role. There's legitimately, I can't think of anybody. Has there been any negative feedback about this out there at all? If so, man, I'm really interested in getting into a cage match with whoever is throwing out that negative feedback on this, because man. Commander Green, I love the cameo, and it means so much for so many reasons. I was born in the 70s and grew up with the OT, but the prequels have a bigger place in my heart. So happy for Ahmed Best. Yeah, I think that you speak for us all. So say we all. That's Star Wars, right? I love laughing at my own jokes. Sometimes it's the only way one can guarantee appreciation. And by the way, I continue to be surprised that you were born in the 70s, my friend, because you look way too young, and your whole aura is way too young to be even remotely close to my own age. Seriously, it's remarkable. It's remarkable that you're as old as you are. Dude, that I'm sorry, man, but that comment is an absolute waste of energy. Absolute waste of energy on your part. All that glorious stuff that was going on in that episode, and that's what you're going to comment on? No, come on, man. Be better. Kelleran was an awesome surprise, spectacular scene. Completely agree. Completely agree, Rob. Yeah, you're not the first person, Dob. You're not the first person who actually has said something like that to me. Actually, Scott Heinemeyer chimed in and was just like, "Did you notice who that was?" Or was it Scott? I can't remember. There was a friend who actually shared it with me in a text. Did you see who that was? I didn't even know who it was until it popped. Oh, you know what it was? It was Darren Carnell. It was Darren Carnell, the legendary custom figure painter from Liverpool, who actually said it on his Facebook page. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Not many fans will be able to recognize Ahmed Best on sight. I mean, probably couldn't pick him out of a crowd. In fact, you had the opportunity to pick him out of a crowd because he did have a cameo in episode 2 at a bar in a crowd. And I saw it. Oh, Bear Asian dude, man, you've rarely said anything so true, and that's saying something. Ted Lasso is life. Yeah. See what you did there. Love that show. I think I was in a bad mood when season 3 episode 1 aired because I wasn't really feeling it. I went back and rewatched it right before watching episode 2, and it was all fine. Again, it was just my interpretation. Yeah. Laura Keeles, I wondered about this. I wondered what it would be like for somebody who was spoiled by, had that moment spoiled for them before actually watching it. So it's good to hear that you actually were still able to appreciate the intensity and appreciate the moment and what it means for fandom, for Ahmed Best, for just Star Wars in general. I don't know whose call that was. I would love to find out what the conversation was, how that came up. But seriously, I mean, can you just imagine everybody in like a writing room? Man, who are we gonna get to? Who's gonna rescue Grogu? Who would be best? The unintended puns are just gonna flow today. I can feel it. Oh my God! Wow. Okay, this is a great comment. I hate that people are calling it Best's redemption. He never needed a redemption. He didn't do anything wrong. Those who harassed him for Jar Jar did. I completely agree with that. I've had a hard time even saying the word redemption in association with this moment myself. What I am interested is hearing somebody's alternative take. There's got to be a better word for it. And vindicated? I don't think vindication is it either. I don't know. My vocabulary is actually failing me, and that's something that doesn't often happen. So it's a little bit embarrassing, but I'm not going to make it about me. Whatever it is, I'm just really, really thrilled to see this whole thing come full circle, so to speak. He didn't deserve the treatment that he got at the hands of fans back in the day. Absolutely did not. And as I understand it, fucking Paul. You interrupted my thought process, Paul. Are there wrinkles in the jumpsuit? No, they're not. Not inappropriate ones. Not inappropriate ones. It's hard for me to comment on the wrinkles thing without. And oh god, this is more of a private conversation that we should be having. But at least at this point in my life, who knows what things are going to be like in a month? Maybe I'll be able to speak more freely about it. But at this point, I really can't talk any more than I have about that. But there's a reason why I said what I said. Let's just say that. Anyway, getting back to what John was talking about. Thank you. Yeah, I really don't know what to call it, but there's definitely a word for it. It's great that I think that I've said all that I need to say about the Ahmed Best cameo. I'm happy for him. I think that, oh God, it's really hard to know what to say. So I'm interested in hearing other people's takes on it. Help feed me on this, because I really, really do want to understand exactly what it is that I'm feeling, and I could use a little bit of help. And done to death. Yes, that's right, Commander Green. And this is like a combination. I don't know. It's not quite museum pose, and it's not quite action pose. Get that up there. But again, this really does illustrate just how how strong the figure is. I mean, you're highlighting all the great material work that went into the soft goods, as well as just all the armored components, the full costume, the full kit and caboodle. Just one of the most perfect figures I think that I have in my collection. Although that might be undone by one of those that I'm about to unbox here today. How far into the stream are we? Half an hour? Good, we've got time. Agree 100%. This was not a redemption episode for Ahmed Best. It was a reparation episode. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Paul. That's it. Yeah, 100% agree. Let's see this. Where am I? Chat's just jumped forward a long way. I think I missed a super chat. I need to go back. Yes, thank you, Lane Kramer, for engaging the super chat competition with a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Scrolling on down. Oh, is that what Kelleran is? I was not aware of this Jedi Temple game show for kids. That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to dig into that. Now I've got something to do when the stream is done. Not like I didn't have enough to do. Oh, that's an interesting question, Darkest Night. I was actually having this conversation with someone recently. I'm trying to think of who it was. Oh, it was Guy. Yeah, Guy and I were talking about this. I don't know. I don't know. We are seeing more and more reasons when the conversation happened between Guy and I. The only reason that I could see for them re-releasing Bo-Katan or doing an updated Bo-Katan figure would be the longer hair, as well as, excuse me, coffee burps, best kind of burps. The longer hair, as well as the shield. But now we've got the Mythosaur Pauldron, and who knows where it's going to go from there. Who knows what else we're going to see happen to her? Because if there's one thing we've noticed, it's that with the armor as part of the equation, she's like the upgrade person for a role-playing game. It's like every time Mando would get done with some sort of a mission, he'd go back to the armor and he'd get a new piece of armor, right? I mean, that's kind of how it worked. He'd use his earnings from that mission or that bounty or whatever you want to call it, and he'd wind up getting himself either a new piece of armor or a full cuirass. Or something for Grogu, or now Grogu's getting stuff for himself. Bo-Katan's getting stuff for herself. It's just a really interesting trope, and I like the way that they're playing it. Dude, I mean, seriously, this revelation for me just makes it even better. Just makes it even better. I had no idea that Ahmed Best had already played Kelleran Beck into something else and into something different. I'd never seen this. I was not even remotely aware of it. So thank you. This is one of the reasons that I love doing this stream, is because not only do I get to talk about the stuff that I found interesting, but you guys just enrich my geekdom just with comments. I mean, it's just so fun. So fun. Single Songwriter is here. Hello, sir. Oh, man. It's possible. It's possible. I'm actually surprised by the number of people who seem to be excited about the Jar Jar figure. I was like, everybody's going to hate me for giving away a Jar Jar figure, but I don't care because I love Jar Jar. I actually have this. I have my own copy of this figure. This isn't something that I'm just tossing out the door. I have my own, and I will never get rid of it. In fact, I keep thinking that I'm going to unbox it and have it on the desk, so it's always here. TK421 Collectibles wants to know, hands up, who here was born in the 70s? That surprises me too, bro. Just like Harold, I'm surprised to find out that you were born in the 70s. You don't look or act nearly old enough to have been born in the 70s. So props to you, man. Props to you. Good genes. Is that right? No, this brings down my day. You know, I actually have the first Aftermath book, and the style of it didn't agree with me. The writing style didn't agree with me. I felt like it was trying to be edgy, and whatever it was trying to do, it really wasn't working for me, so I never finished it. But I think I still have it around. I may have donated it during one of my moves, but who knows? But thanks for bringing that up, Tommy. That gives me something to think about later on. I'm just going to write that down. So nobody spoil it, because I may go ahead and try to catch up on that. Oh, you know, that's something you can definitely do in, you can definitely make that happen as long as there was a Hot Toys Keller and Beck figure, which I think could happen. Again, full disclaimer, I have signed an NDA. I can't disclose anything. I just have hopes, and I sometimes will speculate, but never in a way that will get me in trouble. I haven't heard anything. I will never hear anything. I legit, every time that there's a Hot Toys release, I find out about it on social media. I have no inside information on that. So, in case anyone was thinking of asking. Oh, Allie's here. Gotta run. Probably literally. That woman is a fitness fiend. Fitness fiend. Yeah. Put that on your license plate somehow. This track is very, very Clone Wars. But anyway, what I was getting back to what I was going to say about not that. Yeah, Rob Parisho follows up with a comment here. No more 6-scale speeder bikes. Yeah, you can do it. If they come up with a figure of Keller and Beck, then all you got to do at that point is just pick up the Bark Speeder, the 501st Bark Speeder, and I think that would be sufficient. Not sure how you would fit Grogu's pram in there, but it would also require a younger version of Grogu, because maybe I'm crazy, but it seemed to me like Grogu looked much younger. Not sure if they did an actual smaller scale puppet or if they did something in post to make him look younger, but he definitely looked more babyish than he does today. Coconut Ice! Yeah. Yeah, he did voice the clones. I did find out about that later, and I think that's all well and good. I think that needed to be done because he did voice the clones in the films. The Mandalorian series is more attached to the Clone Wars than it is, more attached to the films than it is to the Clone Wars. I love that James Arnold Taylor is doing, I was just thinking about that as I was binge watching the Clone Wars. I think that it's great that, that at the time, I think that when they started it, they didn't have the money to get Tamara Morrison on board to do the voices of the clones. James Arnold Taylor has done a fine job. I love him as the voice of the clones. It is James Arnold Taylor, right? Am I fucking that up? That would be just like me. So I'm not the only one who wasn't feeling episode 1. Again, I went back and it was fine. It's just I feel like it was just such a long time between seasons that they had a hard time hitting that stride. But it's definitely back on point now. And I feel like they're really going to be focusing more on the story arc of the women in the show. You're seeing a lot of stuff going on with Rebecca. You're seeing a lot of stuff going on with Keeley. So far, not a whole lot with Roy. Almost nothing with Jamie. It's like all the dudes have had their stories told in the first 2 seasons, and now they've kind of been relegated. See what I did there? But we'll see. Might be more. It's only 2 episodes in, out of I think 8, if I'm not mistaken. Sell Ted Lasso in 30 seconds, dude. It is on the surface. It is a show about a soccer team and a soccer coach, based loosely on a sketch commercial kind of a thing that he had done for ESPN for soccer. Turn that down a little bit. And but in reality, it's more humanistic. It's far more humanistic. It's definitely telling the stories of people. It's interesting because every single person in the show is filthy rich, but I think you're going to find that when you're dealing with a professional Premier League soccer club, and that's fine, because even though we may not be able to identify with them on a economic status level, we can definitely identify with all of their traumas, all their problems, all their stories as humans. It is the most humanistic, feel-good story that I've ever seen on television, and I'm trying to get everybody that I know to watch it. The people who have actually taken my advice have loved it immensely. One person that will not do it is Scott Heinemeyer, and that's because he just hates football. Hates it. I've really got to find out what this was about. Oh, that guy Mark has dropped a super chat. Thank you, sir. What would you rather from Hot Toys, a Jar Jar Binks or the Jedi he played? Oh, don't make me choose! That's an evil question. Why would you make me choose? Oh, man. I'm just looking at the figure here, just thinking. The thing of it is that a Jar Jar figure would be very, very difficult to produce. You would have to use seamless arms. And it would be really expensive because it would be a one-off. You couldn't reuse that body. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, man. I'm sorry. It would legitimately be a coin toss. As much as I love Jar Jar, I think he's just hilarious. I understand his purpose, and I think he did it well. Fine. But God, that moment with Ahmed Best as Kelleran Beck is so fresh in my mind that it's really hard to make the call. Maybe as the excitement of this week fades, I'll be able to make a more informed decision. But right now, I'm just feeling too strongly about that to really trust my own judgment. Dark Wolf Music, Collectibles, and more is here. Hello, what's going on? I'm making a clone trooper army from scratch using electrical tape, cardboard, and anything else I can find. That's mighty creative of you, dude. I totally embrace that and encourage you for that. Anything you can do to, anything you can do to make that work, I think you should do. Start there and then build your way up. Once you get tired of using those materials and you have means to access other materials, then go ahead and do it, because that's a lot of fun. I have a friend who's the child of a friend who was actually doing the same thing using little Lego clones. Just customizing little Lego clones using magic markers, whatever he has on hand, just to recreate characters that he wouldn't ordinarily be able to get on his own. And it's absolutely fabulous. I finally went over to see his collection a few months ago, and it looks great. Yeah. Man, I'm getting further and further behind here. And let's see, it's okay at 10 o'clock. Hey Siri, set timer at 15 minutes. Shit. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. I had Siri set a timer for me without realizing where my phone was, and it was not in this room, and it would have gone off in 3 minutes, not 15 minutes. Set timer, 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, I will bust open whichever figure you guys choose. So let's go ahead and start shouting out in the comments which figure you would rather see me pose today. Is it Hunter or is it Axe Woves? Yeah, there we go. Anyway, but moving back to, let's see, I finished that. I answered that question. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Huh. Yes, yes, yes. All good things. Just for those who are only listening and not watching, I think the vindication is the right word, says Bad Wolf Media. He's vindicated by showing that the issues people had were with the writing and directing, not the performer, and never should have been directed at best. That's on point. That's on point, and it illustrates, I think, one of the huge problems in toxic fandom is that they throw their vitriol at the most obvious target. In this case, being Ahmed Best, and it had nothing. His performance was amazing. It was inspired. It was unlike anything I had ever seen on screen. I mean, he legitimately brought to life that character, not just with his vocal performance, but with that physical performance. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, and it really did not deserve the hate that it got. I hate to beat that point to death, but in his case, I don't think you can talk about it too much. I don't think you can beat back on that hate too much. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. God, that would be so fun. I don't know that we'll see that this season. It seems like they're not devoting a whole lot of screen time to Grogu's backstory in each season. They're just revealing it bit by bit, and I applaud that. But yeah. Another big jump, just to illustrate just how far behind I am, and I'm so far behind. Jesus, so far behind. I'm never going to get caught up with these comments, guys. Koganice is loving Andor. Yeah, me too, buddy. Buddy. It's a combination of bro and buddy. Bruddy. Oh, God. Ah, there we go. Let's call it a triumph. We could call it all kinds of things. There's no one way to characterize his appearance on this episode. Seriously. We're getting guitars here? Does this really fit the vibe? All right, we'll leave it. Yeah, I figured you couldn't stay for too long, Paul, and I'm sure you're long gone because I'm way behind on the chats. But in case you catch this in a rerun, pleasure as always. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, thanks for giving us a shout out. TN is here. Hello, fanatics. Actually, I noticed that. I noticed that Kelleran's robe had a different kind of style to them. They were very, very cool, weren't they? Maybe for that reason alone, I would prefer to see a 6-scale figure of Kelleran over Jar Jar. I'd love me some Jedi robes, dude. I really do. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. And I'll tell you why that's interesting. Why I think that's interesting, and you can share with me either in the chats or later on. But I feel like the armorer did not believe it. Yeah, she legitimately saw a mythosaur in the depths of the living waters, and tentatively shared that with the armorer, and the armorer was like, "That's a powerful omen." No, no, it's not a fucking omen, man. I saw it. Yeah, sure you did, kid. Here, take this pauldron and shut up. Yeah. But I think you may be onto something there. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves. But then they've been shocking me here with everything that I predicted was happening with Bo-Katan. They're kind of leading me to believe that she really is a convert. I think so. I don't know. I thought that she might just be up to something, up to no good. But I don't know. Maybe she's going to wind up being the real hero of the Mandalorian here. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Because she has seen, I'm thinking now that a lot of her disgruntlement, a lot of the reason why she was so sulking on her throne is because she was so upset and disappointed in her followers abandoning her to go out and be mercenaries. Something that's so ignoble. And she wants more for her people than just to be out in the galaxy being brigands. And now she's in with the Children of the Watch, and she's recognizing the purity, first in her interactions with Din Djarin and his absolute sincerity, his sincere belief in his faith. And now she's seeing it also with the rest of the Children of the Watch, and she's feeling embraced by them, and maybe has finally found her place, and maybe has found a purity in Mandalorian culture that she recognized was lacking with the previous gang she was hanging out with. And I did use gangs specifically. Can I take a guess where your Darth Maul profile pic is from? I can't really, it's so small, dude. I can't really make it out. So no, I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to guess. No, I can't tell. I'm sorry. It's not one of my photos, is it? I don't know. I have no idea. Huh. Wow, so many 1970s children here. That's really exciting. That's hilarious. Steve Nara sharing a great anecdote. 2 years old when he saw A New Hope during the opening run. Legend has it my parents had to leave during the Greedo scene because I started crying. That's a riot. Gina B. Collecting, who was born in the 70s. Okay. I'm not surprised by that. You do look remarkably young. I legitimately had you in your 30s. But there's a maturity to you that comes across both on your YouTube channel and in your comments here on screen in my channel. Oh, that's that Bad Wolf Media. You summed it up, dude. And I would like to know where you got that quote, because it's a series of run-on paragraphs made up of sentence fragments. That was it. I was just like that. It really took me out of it. just having to expend so much effort. There's a reason why language structure exists, why you're expected to adhere to a certain structure. And I feel like the guy was just trying to be edgy, and it doesn't work. It's that kind of an attempt to do something in a novel form is, I don't know, it just feels like you're just trying to make yourself feel edgy, which actually got covered in this week's episode of Ted Lasso when Trent Krim, yeah, and Roy fucking Kent had their moment. Good moment, right? Seriously. But I think it was a huge mistake. Don't do that. Don't do that. Make your stuff readable. Don't make people have to work for it. I mean, some people might want to rise to that sort of a challenge when they're reading a book, but most people won't, and they won't thank you for it. I'm trying to scroll through as fast. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. D. Bradley Baker. James Arnold Taylor is the voice of the droids. Right? Am I just screwing all this up? Yeah, D. Bradley Baker. Sorry, D. I know you're watching. Obi-Wan, that's it. He's the voice of Obi-Wan. Jesus. My Clone Wars geek card is going to get revoked at the end of this episode. We'll do it ceremonially, as we should do. But yeah, I'll present my geek card to everybody and, I don't know, light it on fire. Doc Smizzle, I guess this is about Jar Jar. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't have to. But in all honesty, seamed arms on figures like that really do take me out of it. It's part of the reason why I didn't buy the Avatar figures when they first came out. I mean, I suppose if I was a big enough fan of something, then I would overlook it. I have in the past, so I don't know. Maybe. Right now I'm just stressed trying to catch up to these comments before I move forward. But looks like everybody wants me to post. I got one vote for Axe from Pierre. Another big jump. Kind of scroll back up to where this is. Jesus. Single Songwriter thinks the Armorer is up to no good. She knows about the Mythosaur and Mandalore, but keeps it to herself for some reason. That's an interesting theory. I don't know that it's supported in any way, but you could be right. I mean, basically every guess that I've had, every prediction that I've had this season has wound up being wrong, which is not a sensation I'm used to. I mean, legitimately, when they announced that Star Wars Episode 7 was happening, I predicted the plot, basically. I legitimately wrote a treatment for the first act, and it wound up being the plot of the whole film. It's on my Facebook page somewhere. Facebook took down notes. Not sure if they still exist in the ether somewhere, but I sure as hell can't find it. I've been trying to find it for a long time. Also predicted the plot of Rogue One when they announced that Rogue One was going to be a thing. I think my exact words were, "That's great. It needs to be the Dirty Dozen in space, and they all have to die." Nailed it. Just pat myself on that back. Oh, there's Hugo. Hey, Hugo. I didn't know you were here. Brandy, yeah. Yes, child. That's nice. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. And she didn't deserve that. I wonder if we'll have enough upcoming seasons to see Grogu's past until it catches up to reveal what was his fate with Mando. As I understand it, season 4 of Mando is still up in the air. I feel like that's again, goes back to last week's discussion about contract negotiations. Disney's playing hardball, trying to make their negotiations go in their favor. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I will talk about that. I do have some advice. It's less of a fix and more of a cheat. But it happens. I'll have to look at it again. I do remember something like that kind of happening, but I haven't done any comparisons between the Hot Toys figure and how it compares to Hunter's appearance on screen. But I'll look at that when I break it out of the box, because the votes were overwhelmingly for Hunter. So here in like 2 minutes, I'm going to bust that out, and then the comments will oh look, I'm caught up. I'm caught up. Commander Green, enjoy your day with your kiddos. See ya. Coke and Ice, probably my favorite photo of Maul in any form of media. Solo Maul. Okay. Yeah, I have that figure, but I've never opened it. Never opened it. Only one vote for Axe Woves, or two if you count. Was that a vote for Axe Woves, Keith? Because if so, there were two. Anyway, one from Pierre, one from you. We should get together soon. I haven't seen you guys, I think, since we were at... Oh, by the way, before I open up that and pose him, I'm just going to break out this figure. While I bought that thing for you guys, I bought something for me. And because I was kind of curious to see how it turned out. This, for those who don't know, this is Ned B. Ned B is that awesome droid from Obi-Wan. And I just fell in love with that droid. And I know in my heart that we are never going to see a Hot Toys figure of Ned B. So I decided to go ahead and buy one for myself. This is also my first time buying a figure, a Black Series figure, and paying too much for it, by the way, for those who saw the price tag. But I'd like to support my local toy shop, so I don't mind paying over cost, over market value for something from them. They've got bills to pay, and I just love. Okay. I love having a toy shop in my neighborhood, and I want that thing to continue. So for those of you who don't realize, who've never heard, and I think Paul's discussed this, so this might be redundant for most people, but for those who are watching it in post, this is my first figure from the Black Series that doesn't have the window packaging, just for comparison there. They didn't do the plastic window because they are being environmentally conscious and trying to cut back on plastic. Yeah, and I applaud that. The downside is that you don't actually get to see the quality of the figure that you're buying before you buy it. You don't get to judge the paint jobs on it. I hope that Hasbro is not so nefarious as to use that to sort of scale back on their quality, but we'll see. And I can't even see yet because, as you can see, it actually shows up when you pull it out of the box wrapped in plastic. I'm sorry, plastic. That would be funny. Paper. So I'm just going to go ahead. Legitimately, the way that these things are working now, there is no way for you to open this up and then rebox it and have it mint in box again. Which I'm never going to sell this. So what's the problem? I'm just going to go ahead and rip it out. I'm hearing the cries of collectors, Black Series collectors out there like, no, what are you doing? Like, resale value. I'm like, don't care. Don't care. Okay. Huh. And here he is. Oh, there's the alarm, everybody. Time to start posing. So here he is, man. He's kind of cool. Can we get him up there? I'm going to drop this, drop this comment off so that it's not distracting. But here's the Ned B figure. Such a heartbreaking character. God, he's got a decent range of motion on him for a character with pauldrons. I'm really interested in checking out the engineering on him later on when I have more time. And I don't want to take up too much time on this stream for that purpose, but it's so cool. 90 degrees of bend. So Lane, don't buy this. I'm never going to leave you alone with that. Oh, okay. Bad Wolf Media brings up something fun. I just noticed this the desk reveal photo, and I should have. Oh yeah. I totally should have done that. And I'm wondering how quickly I can do it. But I showed an image on Facebook of my desk. I recently cleaned and organized my desk and redid my collection display. What year is this? 2023? Yeah, we'll just call it that. But I wanted to go ahead, and I was so proud of how it looked that I wanted to go ahead and just highlight how awesome this desk display is. And let's see on the Mac. It's loading it up, everybody. Bear with me. My computer's very, very slow right now. Okay, cool. Okay, good. And I have to shrink it down to size as always. But anyway, I just basically took a photograph of how my desk looks now that I've got it tidied up, organized, have some new collectibles out on there. I took some things away. I took away the Master Chief premium format figure, which is one of my favorite Sideshow statues of all time, and of one of my favorite characters of all time, from one of my favorite franchises of all time. So let me just go ahead and shrink this down to size, and then I can bring this thing onto screen so everyone can see. So that's what my desk looks like now. Well, not at the moment because I've got trash all over it. There's also another piece of Ned B that I need to pull out. Trying to see what it is. Oh, there's several accessories. Oh, they really, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys this. But anyway, this is what it looks like now. And I think, can I just go ahead and I would zoom in on it, but I'm not gonna. So that's it. That's where my desk is right now. And you can see that I have a knife on there. And to answer your question, Bad Wolf, that is a Benchmade nitrous striker. Focus. Focus. Okay, use Paul's trick. There we go. Come on, Nikon. You can do it. You can do it. There's a Benchmade nitrous striker. As you can see, it's pretty long on the tooth, and it's been used. But it's a great, great blade. Opening assist, which probably makes it illegal in some states. It's also not made anymore. I don't even know if they make versions of this anymore. This one is made of a steel called D2 steel. It's a harder steel. It stays sharp longer, but it is also more difficult to sharpen as a result. Love that knife. It's legitimately, not only is it my everyday carry, it is my only pocket knife at this point in my life. Mostly because I wind up losing the others. Anyway, just want to make sure that no Figure Jurassic Park is out. Oh, you missed the posing session. That's fine. You don't. Your posing's. You don't need help with that. Keith Lee, thank you for bringing up the the liking thing. Yeah, that's whatever. Appreciate it. But yeah, this is what I wanted to bring up. Bad Wolf also says a counterpoint to can't see the figure in the box. Isn't that also true of, say, Hot Toys? That's accurate. That's 100% accurate. So I hadn't considered that, but you're right. You are right, as always. And just rolling down the comments really quick before I start opening this box. Inside joke, everyone. If you know, you know. Hey, Mr. Imagination's here. Hello, John. Pierre, that's the thing about Benchmade, man, is they will last you 20 years. I'm just gonna... I love throwing things over my shoulder. Look, paper. Throw it over my shoulder. But look, this is the thing. The paper... Okay, the thing about... Here's the thing, Mike, about Hot Toys figures, is that you can at least return them to the tray in a condition that approximates mint, you know. But with these things coming in paper packages like this that are just, you can't pull him out. He's got his hammer, there's a blaster in there, and I can see there's some swap out plate, maybe something battle damaged. I can't tell without opening it. Let me see. Yeah, no idea what that is. Oh, it's his backpack. It's the thing that goes on the back. You can see there's a keyhole there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I could rip it out right now. I'm just really thrilled to have this. I'm gonna totally go with a really hulking, like, simpleton kind of pose, because that's not doing it right now. You can't see it, but it looks pretty bad. But I'll get around to it. Oh, no. Anyway, by the way, I said something about a giveaway. So while I'm opening this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys unleash yourselves in the comments. The first time that we saw it in the Clone Wars, there is an episode in which Jar Jar Binks finds a Jedi robe and puts it on and is mistaken for a Jedi. And it's a comical episode. It's very funny. What's the name of that episode? First person in my chats who answers that question wins this figure. So go on with that while I dig out my my figure du jour. And I regret to say that I did not think far enough ahead to get all the plastic bits off of this. I'm legitimately looking at my Hunter figure for the first time. Just to see, there's the box. I'm gonna clear that off. Oh, I already have a winner. Oh, man. Oh, I'm trying to figure out how. Oh, because the first person on my thing actually misspelled the first word of the episode. We have a winner already, so if you're actually out there hunting for the name of the episode, just stop because it's too late. Somebody's already won. And I'm trying to decide if that is yeah. I'm kind of thinking the same thing as Bad Wolf Media. I'm thinking that the winner is Joda576. Congratulations. I have to figure out a way for you to get me your mailing address. It hadn't occurred to me. But is there a way to message people in YouTube? I don't even know if YouTube has a messenger service. If not, I will drop a little used throwaway email address into my into the comments, and you can send me your information there. But everybody just let me know if there is a way. Thai BWM. I don't even know what that is. Look at all this plastic. Oh, it's so tight. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break out the knife and cut the tape. Paul, you're missing it. Watching somebody else suffer through the Hot Toys taping process. Once again, with the Benchmade. Club 6 Ale is in full effect, so I hope you all are entertained by the music. Let's go ahead and pull this off. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm really not bothered by this alleged helmet issue. On mine anyway. I don't know if that's something that's specific to a certain figure, but I will show. Yeah, okay. God, bear with me, everybody, because this is really delicate work. Trying to cut this tape with this knife without actually cutting the scratching the figure. So yeah, Joda576 is the first ever winner of a prize on my YouTube channel. I've never done a giveaway before. So congratulations, dude. Really happy for you. You were quick on the draw, dude. That was actually genuinely impressive. I figured that I would have a winner pretty early on. I didn't think it would happen that quickly. Let alone that there would be 3 potential winners that just happen in rapid succession. Okay, more plastic, more plastic, more plastic. All right, cool. There is a process here, everybody. This is going to take longer than I anticipated, I can tell. I'm going to take your figure and gently put it over here. I'm going to take this box and just casually cast it aside. I just gotta look at my hair and it's going absolutely batshit. Apple box. Apple box, because you absolutely have to have this thing on a, I think I just dropped something off the desk onto Piper. You okay, girl? Calm down. Calm down. And I'm not sure I showed you guys, and I won't show you now because there's just too much going on. And have we talked about Bad Batch yet, by the way? Since we are doing a hunter pose here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull off. You can see it's the standard deck-themed display base. And there's plastic covering this amazing... I love these nameplates. They're just so perfect that they've never had to change the style on them. I mean, never felt compelled to change the style on them, and I think that that's just amazing. This figure also comes with an alternate facade that you can put over the top of the faceplate. It's pretty cool. And again, most people have already seen this on Paul's channel or on TK421's channel or anybody's channel, and that's fine. But there might actually be somebody watching this who's never seen this before, and I love that they've done this kind of a thing. Seriously, my hair is just looking absolutely insane right now. I'm distracted by it. But let's see. Go ahead and get this stand in place because I can't state unequivocally whether I pose with the figure on the stand or pose with the figure off the stand, because I think it varies based on the pose. For more action-oriented poses, or if the figure's going to be slightly off balance or something like that, I think it's always good to have him on the stand. Oh, look, yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten. They actually have the lower arced display thing, which I'm still not sure how I feel about. It seems to work with this figure, though. So, yeah. I think it works better with some figures than it does with others. So let's just take a quick look at this and see how it's shaping up. We're not really getting good focus on it. And if we come up, then we lose the catch light. So let me just kind of slide this over. I'm going to slide me over. And slide the figure over. All right. That's it. Cool. Nailed it. How's the lighting on it? Is it okay? I think it's fine. Y'all don't care. Okay, so dress in the figure, first and foremost. Oh! It's really hard to do this and read comments. All right, so here's his knife. And it goes in his arm. He does this. That is just so cool. Legitimately so cool. When I was living in California, I think this is right. Yeah, I think that's right. There, lock it home. Yeah. So that slides right into the right into this pauldron here. Not pauldron. It slides right into that vambrace here. And I'm not going to have him wielding the knife for this pose, I don't think. So I just want to go ahead and dress it like that. He's got a DC-17 hand blaster. It's funny that you can put this in front of my hair, and that's legitimately the best way to create that contrast. But yeah, the familiar DC-17 hand blaster. He only wields one because it's all that he needs. He comes with his characteristic backpack. All the Bad Batch members have a backpack. And a couple of mines. He's got a he's got a thermal detonator mine, which is flat, like so. And he's also got a full-on round thermal detonator that has given me a lot of grief and doesn't want to come out. And then we've got the DC-15M, the modular version of the clone weapon. That's really, really cool. Yeah. So I think we're going to implement that at some point. There is, of course, the portrait. There you go. Grab that focus. You can see the amazing detail on that tattoo. I'm going to get in closer on that. I don't like to get in too close on the portraits when I'm doing these videos, because why would you want to view the head bigger than you would actually be able to view it in real life? You want a good idea of what it's going to look like on the figure. And that's what we'll address here, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. I did say that I would show you guys my trick for hiding that... Thank you. Thank you. I'm busy right now. I'm busy. Leave me alone. Is there a sleeve with this? I feel like there should be a neck sleeve here. Like I'm missing something. I'll have to dig deeper on that. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this head on him. Okay. Is that all the way on? I think that's all the way on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so the common alleged issue is that supposedly his neck looks a little bit too long. I don't know that that's true, but there are two things you can do if you wanted to cheat that, if this was a problem for you. One is just to take the cloth piece around his neck, pull it up, and that'll give a little bit of an illusion of a shorter neck, just like wearing a turtleneck does with people. That helps. But also you can take this bit of armor and raise it up a little bit, elevate it. And I think that kind of takes care of the rest. Just looking at it. Yeah, both those things combined definitely work for me to take care of the issue. And I just realized that the head wasn't even all the way down on the ball joint. So... that's on there now. Okay, good. There we go. All right. Works for me. I dig it. Yeah, I don't think the neck is too long. At all. Hunter's kind of a lean guy. And I think that it works. But we'll see. And for today, I am not Or am I? In the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and just go with a museum pose, and I am going to feature Hunter wearing this unhelmeted portrait because it really is gorgeous. I mean, seriously, you can see Tim Morrison in there so much, and at the same time, it doesn't really distract me in a way that makes me think that it doesn't look unlike the character does in the show. Just remarkable. Just remarkable. Let's go ahead and get this hand on. These wrist pegs are really tight. And it's... Oh, I just remembered that once again I forgot to turn up the heat in my place. Okay, that went on there fairly easily. The hands are also super stiff. Oh, yeah, I should have done that first. If you have stiff hands, it always helps to put the gun in first, especially as tight as Hot Toys is making these hands lately for the clone blasters, for the Stormtrooper blasters, what have you. But you really do have to work to get them in, and I'm not going to be able to show you guys how I'm doing it because I need to have everything down here so that I can use my muscles. It's so tight. Get in there. No jokes. It's a kid-friendly show, everybody. Sort of. All right, there we go. As Robo from Frush would say, off-camera strength. Yes! That's a good term for it. I'm not familiar with Robo from Frush. But yeah, that kind of nails it. Appreciate the correction there again, Bad Wolf. When I'm busy, I don't know how Guy does it. I straight up don't know how Guy did it for so long on the show. But yeah, let's go ahead and bend that up. I want that there. And this is just going to be basically straight up casual Hunter holding the elbow. So you're going to want that, kind of see how I'm doing it here. You're going to want that arm to be out to the side to accommodate that helmet. And then make micro adjustments once you get the helmet under his arm. And I think that's not even enough yet. But when you're doing something like this, it's easier to start with the gap here being too narrow as opposed to too wide. Because when you're trying to close that gap, it won't go all the way in. You're gonna collide with the helmet, and then it's gonna spring back just a little bit, no matter where you are. So start with it too tight, and then kind of slide the helmet in, and allow that pressure to help you. Okay, I can see now that I'm gonna need to adjust that hand. There we go. Then turn it. Good. I think that should do it. Get that back in there. And there we go. Oh, that's perfect. Not to pat myself on the back or anything, but it's just, I'm really happy with how, and I'll just go ahead and bring this in close to show you. I'm really happy with how well the hand is gripping the helmet down below there. It's like just flowing nicely along the base of the helmet. It just looks natural. Sometimes when you're trying to get a helmet under the arm like that, it just, the way that the hands are shaped doesn't really lend itself to that natural fall of the hands, if you will, that grip of the fingers underneath the helmet. But this legitimately looks like he's almost holding it. I think I can probably, yeah, if I force it back there just a little bit, there we go. That's got it. Now it's fully in there. And that's just so cool. Again, that's not something that happens with every single figure. So that's got a baseline for that. I'm going to get his pistol up and out and around. My dog is moving around. Piper, make yourself comfortable. Gojira's in the house. Hey, Gojira. Brandy Woods crack. Bust him out with the jokes. Okay, very valid point. Thank you. And okay, so here's what I've got right now. Focusing on me, not on the figure. Figures. The figures. There. Try to make that better. So I kind of like it, but it does need more, right? I mean, this is about as vanilla as it gets. And so I think what I'm going to do is turn his head just a little bit this way and just kind of jut it out. I do kind of like the attitude of the off-center legs there. But at the same time, I kind of want to turn his torso just a touch. Get that arm out. And up. And I think he's kind of leaning forward just a little too much, so I'm going to kind of straighten him up, almost like he's at attention. Oh man, so many people are going to be disappointed by this pose. Thanks, dude. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, that show was a good time. A better time. And okay, so here's where I'm at right now, just to turn it around so you're all at least partially seeing my progress. So what's wrong with this? A fair bit. I kind of like the stance, and if it looks okay on its own right now, it will look better with more Bad Batch figures in it. But one of the things that I'm not digging is this angle on the elbow. So to fix that, I'm just going to bring this out a little bit, raise this elbow laterally a little bit more, and then tweak it at the hand. Because I do not like straight lines. And I just realized this thing is perched very precipitously. You know what? I totally forgot about the DC-17M. I should have done that in that hand instead. Not too late. Not too late. Let's fix it. There we go. Do you see how haphazardly I just ripped that gun out of his hand? It's a marvel that I don't break more figures than I do. Single songwriter, yes, I am aware of the backpack. I'm saving that for last. I don't want to knock it off. There's a process, and I do like to put the backpacks on, things like that on last. If it's something that I can easily knock off, then I'll make it wait. There we go. It was actually, as I was looking at that backpack, that I recognized that I'd forgotten about this particular gun. And the question is this still going to look okay? Oh, yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. My concern was, is this still going to look okay with his, and here's what I want to do. I think I want to change the position. Yeah. Making micro adjustments, but also just a drastic change in the pose itself. Yeah. Having him look completely in a completely different direction. And what this does is all of a sudden you have a better angle on the helmet. The helmet is not as concealed as it was if I would have had the character looking off to the right. And it makes the gun look far less prominent. It's not nearly blocking the portrait as much as it was. Now here's the question. Yeah, there we go. Boom. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this this comment off here so that we can get a full view of the figure. And there is my museum pose of Hunter. Does everybody feel cheated by this? Again, this is something that anybody who knows me will tell you I'm going to work with quite a lot. Oh! Joda, yes, do that. Yeah, if you can actually, yeah, just send me your information on Instagram, and I'll be looking for that later today, and I'll get that out the door to you on Monday. I've got something. I made a trade with Guy. I've traded a patrol trooper for a Count Dooku with Guy, and I need to send that out to him. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And again, if the neck is of a concern for you, then yeah, by all means, go ahead and elevate that cuirass armor, and that will provide a little bit more of an illusion of a shorter neck. We're talking about aesthetics here. We're talking about aesthetics here. If you look at something and it's not working for you, don't let anybody argue with you on that. You just fix it and make it what you think it should be. Yeah, but I think this looks great. In fact, now I'm gonna have to break out Echo Hear that, figures? Some of you are going to have to go. It's true. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that up there while we, what time is it? 10:30. We've got 30 minutes left in the live stream. That's assuming I don't go long, and I have actually considered going long today. Because, again, there was a lot that I wanted to talk about, and it seems like there was a lot that you guys wanted to talk about, so I'm willing to keep the conversation going. There's just a pile of boxes next to me. I'd show you, but there's just stuff you can't see. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Brandy. Why am I verifying OneDrive? Minimize that. Thanks, Brandy. Oh, does it? You know, I've not actually seen the Blacks. I've not made it a point to look at the Black Series versions at all. So I'm tweaking already. Here we go. Oh. And that is why I didn't, did I just jack up the whole pose? I think I did. Let me just look at it from my perspective here. I think I like it down a little bit more. The DC-15M down a little bit more. Yeah, maybe. Focus on the figure, not on me. I'm unimportant. It's all about the figures. Yeah, I like that in general, just having the blaster down a little bit. It looks better full rotation that way. Again, I've got a comment in the way, and I apologize for that. Just wondering. There we go. I think that's it. And again, just like with all things, I will probably tweak this and maneuver it and change it up in any number of ways after I get it on display. Oh, I see what happened there. Yeah, the helmet moved forward. There we go. I'm pretty happy with this, guys. I mean, I knew I liked it. Whether you know it or not, I actually did the first look for it. So this is my first time getting my hands on a Hunter figure. This is just the first time of me having Hunter in my collection. So I'm going to take that down really quick. And maybe, for those of you who tuned in a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago, I did feature my, I did pose up my Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker on step. I have tweaked that pose and arrived at something that I feel like is what it ought to be. Let's go ahead and rotate that around. But I was able, as you can see, just looking down the barrels, I was able to get Anakin kind of behind, but also slightly off center, get his head really low, like he's really taking shelter behind the chassis of that stap, and swooping in to, one assumes, decapitate a or some battle droids, a battle droid or some battle droids, and I'm pretty stoked by this. As you can see from the side, it looks really, really dynamic. You've got the flaps blowing in the wind. You just got him ducking down, and it just looks, I don't know, there's a lot of motion to this. I don't frequently step up and say I'm really proud of that pose, but I'm really proud of this pose. What would be amazing for the live stream is if it fell off the table right now, right after I said I was really proud of that pose. I would laugh my butt off. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I was actually going to mention that. I know that I promised I'd be doing a photo, but I just legitimately have not had the time or the inclination. Lots of stuff going on right now, and my head space needs to be in the right mindset to really do that and experience the joy of it. And to be frank, not to get too deep into it, but my joy's not really been there lately. That's a valid point. But none of us knows how heavy a DC-17M is. Yeah. They could be using some serious composites going on, serious composites there that make the gun really super light. And you're right. I frequently do that, but I'm comfortable with this. And over the shoulder is just, this is meant to be kind of like he's kind of partway bringing it up. I always like to have just a little suggestion of motion in my poses. So it's more like, yeah, he's on his way to that. Like he's got this and he's bringing the gun up, and we caught him in that moment, right when he's getting to that point. And yeah, he'll bring it over, but it's very difficult with these figures sometimes to actually get that gun to rest over the shoulder, which is ultimately what you're trying to do. You're not actually holding it like that. off the shoulder, right? I mean, I can't imagine that you would, but maybe not. TK421 loves the Anakin and stab pose. Will I have a chance to take some close-up photos and put them on Instagram? I never do like the close-up photos of a figure and put them on my Instagram. My Instagram, I'm very target specific with that. I usually reserve that for the full, if you've been, you recognize it, but for the full set photos that I do with like a really awesome backdrop and some set pieces like rocks pulled from my yard and some fake snow and all that other good stuff. So maybe I'll have something like that, but no, insofar as actually getting close-ups of it, that's something there are plenty of other opportunities to look at that up close out there. Other people do that to great effect, and there's no need for me to replicate that. I have a specific skill set. I kind of try to stick to that. Huh. Yeah, I've been thinking about that more and more, songwriter. Writing songs. Yeah. I've just been in touch with a friend of mine that I haven't talked to since high school, who's in Nashville now, and she's a songwriter. And it would be interesting to I found out what was wrong. Yeah. I just moved that leg back. God damn it. Bad Wolf. I can't unsee what you're talking about now. I'm going to tweak that later. Darth Kerbebe. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Did you get the new Chromando? I seriously need a pose session on him from you. It's on my list. It's on my list. I almost got him this week, but for whatever reason, I opted to go with shipping to me on its way to me right now is the Quill 6-scale figure without blurg. I've got a blurg. I don't need another blurg. And the Grogu 6-scale figure set. I just wanted a couple pieces to really accent. There was my display shelf in there for the Mandalorian figures is a little bit one note, and I wanted to get a little bit more of a third dimension in there. So I'm bringing in some shorter figures to just kind of round it out a little bit. One of these days I'll get around to photographing that shelf or doing a video of it, and then you'll see what I mean. Oh, that's interesting. You'll have to tell me more about that later. My voice is getting torched already. Means I was probably snoring a lot last night. Funny fact about me, when I drink wine, I snore. I snore like you wouldn't believe, man. I mean, it's like, seriously. It could be, you could probably weaponize my snores when I drink wine. Oh, hello, Anthony. Good to see you, man. How long have you been here? I've been having to breeze by so many comments that I'm afraid that I may have actually missed some stuff. Yes, that's right. I'm actually scratching my foot. Itchy. Itchy. I don't think you'll get that many desk photos. I'm surprised you don't have that one. Did you just get the Anakin figure by itself without the stab? I can't remember what your video was about. All right, so it looks like I'm caught up in the comments here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up. Oh, yeah, just leave a note saying Terry Smith sent me or something. I don't know. Keith, I appreciate that, and thank you. Paul, are you paying attention? Paul Lee, are you paying attention to Keith Lee? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, there's just something about the grace and form of a museum pose. I mean, there's a reason why all the classics, all the classic sculptures are in quote unquote museum poses. There is a tiny torso twist there, single songwriter. I don't think you can quite tell it. Let's see. But if yeah, let's see here. Or is there? Oh, it's very tiny. Yeah, but if you look at these lines here at the belt, there's a line here and a line here. You can see that they're off center. So yeah, there is a bit of a tiny torso twist. I just didn't overdo it. Yeah. And I don't think I need to do it anymore. I was just willing to entertain the notion that I might, but I'm perfectly comfortable with it the way that it is. Sometimes it's kind of fun to do something so subtly that most people don't pick up on it. I dig that. This is very true. In fact, the reason that I waited until now to get Hunter is because they hadn't yet solicited Wrecker and Tech. And it's legitimately the moment that it was like in the same email. Hey, can you give me one of the, give me one each of the, set me up with an order for one each of these, and while you're at it, ship out Hunter. Yeah. Looks like the comments have stalled. That's cool. Oh no, I've got a whole mess of them here. Oh yeah, Brandy Woods brings up the clue of moving on to Ted Lasso, which we'll talk about that really quick, and then probably wrap up the stream. But yeah, there's Brett Goldstein was on Sesame Street. I'd seen evidence of that before, but now it seems to be all over the place. Everybody's paying attention to it now that Ted Lasso is back. I've actually done this pose, Bad Wolf. If you go in and check out the first look for Hunter, pretty sure that I did a pose like that for the first look. At the time, there were I think we're still doing 3 poses, but there were 3 poses at the end of that video. I was really happy with all 3 of them. Now I'm playing with this guy. He's just such an awkward looking thing. I will, if I'm going to nitpick, I would say that there's just really not a whole lot of depth going on the yellows on this figure. I realize this is probably a shocking segue for everybody, but you can see that everything, the plastic on the yellow bits just seem really, really flat. There's almost no, it's like there's 2 passes. There's the yellow plastic, and then they did like 1 pass of oily style weathering on the figure. It's just, there's not a lot of depth to it. But it's I think it's the only figure in this scale that we're likely to get. If any figure in a smaller scale is probably going to be inferior. So I'm content with it. Yeah. Every so often I just like to break up the scales that I have on display. If you look over here, like legitimately there's a half scale figure, a quarter scale figure, and a 6 scale figure. And now there's a 12 scale figure. Might as well just go ahead and bring that up, right? I've totally forgotten how to do this. Okay, never mind. Here we go. But yeah, look there on the left of the monitor. Half-scale bust, quarter-scale figures in the form of Yoda and the Clone Trooper, and a 6-scale figure with Anakin on staff. Actually, there's a life-size figure of Lola down there, and of course a life-size. I just like to mix up scales as much as I can. You can see also on the right there's a 5th-scale Ralph McQuarrie Stormtrooper statue, a quarter-scale Thanos, and a whatever scale that is on Optimus Prime. So yeah, it's kind of like doing that, mixing up the scales in a small display area like that. It kind of strikes me as like a like a theatrical poster, theatrical one-sheet movie poster. The way that let's just look at like that classic Darth Vader's head in the background, the large-sized Darth Vader's head in the background. Then you've got Luke and Leia in the foreground on a slightly smaller scale. And an even smaller scale, you've got Han and Chewbacca, and then little bitty droids. So that's kind of what I try to replicate with that. Hello, Christina Payne. Welcome to the chats. Thank you, Single Songwriter, for your compliment on the pose. I suppose that's true. I suppose that's true. Still. Oh, damn, dude, that would have been amazing. Next time you shoot me a text. That is all. That is all. Ned B. Yeah, dude, I love that thing. I actually broke it. And I can't, I don't think it's still in there. Maybe. Yeah, if you look, the rear view mirror broke off on the passenger side. Yeah, and I had put it down here in the seat with intent of trying to reattach it, but it somehow fell out. I don't know how the hell that happened, or maybe it's just stuck way down in there and I can't get it out. But regardless, it's still a gem. It's hard to find these things now, I think. This is the second one I had. The first one was lost and in moving, and I was lucky enough to be able to find another one, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that thing fixed. It's kind of a bummer, but still, you know, whatever. Okay, everybody. I think that's about it. I think we're going to call that one a show, so to speak. And yeah, that's it. Just going to take a quick look at my notes, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, dude, Bad Batch. I mean, first person we see basically is Hauser, Captain Hauser. Like, oh yeah, recognize that hair, just like knew it right away. And how cool was that cat in the entirety of that boarding scene where they were busting onto the ship to break all the clones out? Just Hauser's just like not even sure what's going on. He's stuck in this room. He can't monitor what's going on outside. All he hears is the sounds of being boarded. He knows that the action is moving towards him. So he's got two other clones in that room with him. They kind of stand off to the side at the ready, and then Hauser's just like, all right, okay, I got this. Come on, bring it. Whatever's coming, I'm ready. Absolutely badass, man. I'm so excited that Hauser is back. Again, best hair in the game. Actually, the closest that I can think of to Hauser's haircut is definitely Paul Hernandez's haircut. I need to get in touch with that guy. Yeah, apparently he's going to be in California this week, and I can't make it. And I think that's all I had to say about Bad Batch. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Bad Batch is on the downward cycle again. We have 2 more episodes of that and then done. And that's really all that I've got to say today. So if nobody's got anything they want to bring up really quick, then yeah, cool. You guys have a good week. Lots coming up. I can't wait to see where the Mandalorian is going. I can't wait to see where the Bad Batch is going. Can't wait to see where Ted Lasso is going. This is a very, very exciting time for TV watching for me. So for those of you who are right there with me, tune in next week. I'm sure that I'll have a lot to say. Until then, yeah, don't forget to... Oh, wait. What's going on? Holy crap. I'm legitimately on the wrong page on YouTube. So I can't... I don't even know how to end the stream right now, guys. This is embarrassing. All right, I think I'm just gonna have to stop the stream from a different path. Like I legitimately don't see where the window for this live stream on Google. So I'm just gonna quit Google and hope that works. Yeah, maybe. Take care.